Let's talk about the common symptoms you'll notice if you have a bad starter solenoid in this video. We'll focus on the key aspects that are easy to remember, so when it happens, you'll know exactly what to look out for. Let's get started. Symptom number 1. Clicking noise when starting. When you hear a clicking noise while trying to start your vehicle, it's often a sign of a bad starter solenoid. Since the solenoid transmits electrical current from the battery to the starter motor and engages the starter gear with the engine's flywheel, if it fails, it may not provide enough power to fully engage the starter motor. Instead, it repeatedly tries to make the connection, causing a rapid clicking sound. This can happen because of worn internal contacts, insufficient voltage from the battery, or a faulty solenoid mechanism. Essentially, the clicking noise indicates that the electrical circuit isn't completing properly, preventing the engine from turning over. Symptom number 2. No response when turning the key. When there is no response when you turn the key, it could also be due to a bad starter solenoid. It may fail to close the electrical circuit, meaning no power reaches the starter motor. This can happen if the solenoid's internal contacts are worn out, damaged, or stuck. As a result, you won't hear any clicking or see any signs of the starter trying to work, and the engine will not turn over. Symptom number 3. The starter motor engages but doesn't spin. If the starter motor engages but doesn't spin, it could mean the starter solenoid is going bad. Since its job is to connect the starter gear to the engine and send power to the motor so it can spin, if it's worn out or damaged, it might connect the gear to the engine but not send enough power to make the motor spin. This happens because the solenoid's internal parts are not working properly. Sometimes a weak battery can also cause this, but a failing solenoid is often the main problem. Symptom number 4. The starter motor spins continuously. If your starter motor keeps spinning even after you release the key, it's usually because the starter solenoid is stuck in the on position. Since it's responsible for sending power to the motor when you start the car and cutting off that power once the engine starts, if it fails and stays engaged, it continues to send power, causing the motor to spin non-stop. This is often due to worn or damaged parts inside the solenoid or an electrical issue. Symptom number 5. Intermittent starting issues. Sometimes, a bad solenoid can also cause intermittent starting problems. The vehicle might start normally at times, but fail to start on other occasions, making it unreliable. This happens because the solenoid's internal parts may be worn or damaged, causing it to work only sometimes. When the solenoid doesn't make a proper connection, it prevents power from reaching the starter motor, and the engine won't start. As the problem gets worse, the vehicle may fail to start more often. Symptom number 6. Smoke or burning smell from the starter. If you notice smoke or a burning smell coming from the starter, it could be a sign of a serious problem. This usually happens when the starter motor is drawing too much power, often due to a faulty solenoid or a stuck starter. When the solenoid stays engaged, it can cause the starter motor to overheat, leading to smoke or a burnt smell. It may also happen if there is a short circuit or if the starter motor itself is failing. In any case, this issue should be addressed immediately, as it can damage the starter or even cause a fire. So that basically concludes our list of symptoms of a bad starter solenoid. If you start noticing any of these, address them quickly to avoid further problems. We hope you find this video helpful, and if you're dealing with some problems with your car, let us know by leaving a comment below, and we'll assist that next here on Fix It. Thanks for watching. Subscribe.